Is your money safe? De-Dollarization Prep Guide. While you were sleeping, a group of world leaders met in a room halfway across the globe. They didn't vote to raise your taxes, and they didn't pass a law in your backyard. But they might have just effectively cut your paycheck by 10%. Yes, by 10%. Most people see the headlines about BRICS or de-dollarization and think it's just a boring story for bankers and economists. They are wrong. This isn't about high-level politics or abstract theory. It's about your grocery bill, your gas prices, and your retirement fund. The dollar isn't going to disappear tomorrow, but its power is leaking out of your bank account as we speak. For decades, the US dollar has been the undisputed king of the global hill, but the mountain is shifting. Today, I'm giving you the intelligence briefing the mainstream media won't. The actual survival guide for the de-dollarization era. We're going to speak to separate the panic from the preparation. And I'll show you exactly how to protect your family's wealth before the next global shift hits. Debunking the panic. Before we talk about preparation, we have to talk about reality. I see the comments every day. Many of you feel the future looks bleak. You see the headlines about the end of the petrodollar and assume we're headed for a Mad Max scenario by next Tuesday. But let's debunk the instant collapse myth right now. History shows us that global reserve currencies don't usually die in a day. They erode over decades. Think of the US dollar like the VIP pass we've had for 80 years because everyone wanted our currency. It got us the best seats and the lowest prices on everything from electronics to energy. Now that pass is being revoked, we're still in the building, but we're standing in line with everyone else now. We are losing our exorbitant privilege. The dollar won't hit zero overnight. It's a slow leak, not a sudden pop. And while a leak feels less scary than an explosion, it's actually more dangerous. Because if you don't see it happening, you won't move your bucket until it's already empty. If your savings grow at a 2% rate, but the dollar loses 7% of its purchasing power, you aren't saving. You're losing ground. The three pillars of preparation. See how this can work for you. So, how do you protect your bucket? How do you ensure that your hard work today still has value 10 years from now? There are three pillars to this survival guide that every household should be implementing. Pillar number one, asset protection. If the measuring stick of the dollar is shrinking, you need to own things that the stick measures, not just the stick itself. When the currency loses value, the price of stuff goes up. This means moving a portion of your wealth into hard assets. I'm talking about things with intrinsic value, gold, silver, or productive real estate. These aren't just speculative investments. They are insurance policies. Gold has been a store of value for 5,000 years. It doesn't care about central bank digital currencies or geopolitical summits. It simply exists as a hedge against the devaluation of paper. Pillar number 2, localizing your life. We spent decades relying on global supply chains, fueled by cheap, dominant dollars. As the dollar influence wanes, the cost to import goods, everything from your morning coffee to your smartphone, gets more expensive. Start looking at how to localize. This could mean supporting local food sources, building a pantry of non-perishable goods, or investing in home efficiency to lower your energy dependence. The less you rely on a global shipping container priced in a fluctuating currency, the less de-dollarization can hurt your daily standard of living. Pillar number 3, the debt trap. In a volatile environment, high interest debt is a predator. If your cost of living goes up because the dollar buys less, the credit card balance becomes a weight that can sink you. When the dollar is in flux, interest rates often become unpredictable. Your goal should be to become as lean as possible. Pay down variable interest rate debt now. If the dollar loses value, you won't be the person who owns their assets outright. Not the person who is struggling to pay interest on a lifestyle that is becoming more expensive by the month. The strategic edge. Everything we just discussed helps you to survive. But there is a difference between surviving and thriving. In every era of transition, wealth doesn't just disappear, it gets transferred. Those who understand that the world reserve era is shifting are the ones those who understand that the world reserve era is shifting are the ones who will be positioned to catch the next wave of growth. You don't need to build a bunker in the woods. You need a strategy in your portfolio. You need to stop treating your savings account like a fortress and start treating it like a toolkit. This means staying liquid enough to pivot, but diversifying enough to withstand the storm. It means looking at emerging markets and alternative commodities that aren't tied strictly to U.S. Treasury bonds. The goal is resilience. To close this out, the world is changing, and it's happening faster than the evening news is willing to admit. But remember, intelligence is the ultimate hedge. You can't control what happens in a closed-door summit in Kazan or Beijing, but you can control the layers of protection you build around your home. If you found this briefing useful, make sure to catch my deep dive into the BRICS expansion to see exactly which countries are leading this shift and why it matters for your investments. I want to hear from you. Which of the 3 pillars are you focusing on first? Are you moving into hard assets, or are you focusing on clearing your debt? Let's share tactics and perspectives in the comments below. Once again, this is Ro for The Real Shift, leaving now and asking you to please like, subscribe, and share this to as many people as possible. Because somebody might need this information, and you might be the one that give it to them. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you once again. Thank you.